You see companies across different sectors and across different countries. So it's very global by definition. So, in my view, and I strongly believe in that, is that, by the end of the decade, we're going to have two types of companies. We're going to have one, companies that are using, embedding AI solutions within their operations, within their services or products, and two, companies that don't exist anymore. I truly believe that every single company is going to have to leverage artificial intelligence in some way or another.
Pedro, let me get you to weigh in on what are some of the sectors that you think are impacted. Obviously, technology in general is impacted, but what are some of the either sub-industries or sectors outside of technology that are being impacted?
Yeah, I think probably a very good way to think about this is, in different stages. How is this going to play out from an investment standpoint? And I think at Global X, we essentially think about three different phases. So, the first phase is going to be driven by hardware companies. So if you can think about that, compute is the base hardware layer for machine interaction. So essentially here, the cheaper we can perform a desired action, the more scalable we're going to get out of that action. So, evolution in computing hardware is always going to be about cost efficiency. If you look at historical paradigm shifts like the personal computer, the internet era, the smartphone era, you had companies like Intel back in the personal computer era that won that paradigm shift from a hardware perspective. Cisco won during the internet era. TSMC won during the smartphone era. So NVIDIA is clearly becoming one of the clear winners here in the AI paradigm shift. But the second phase, and something that we're already seeing playing out, is how we manage data, kind of looking at the infrastructure that's needed for artificial intelligence. So when it comes to cloud for artificial intelligence, that's dominated by hyperscalers, companies like Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, for example. So, like NVIDIA, it seems likely that these hyperscalers are going to remain the key players. But the third phase, and this is probably where we see the most attractive investment opportunities moving ahead, is what we call the interface. So in that interface phase is how we as consumers and businesses essentially experience paradigm shift. So if you think about it, again, from a historical context, Microsoft won the personal computer era. Google and Amazon really were the interfaces to the internet paradigm shift. And then Apple and Google really became the interface that powered the smartphone revolution. So I think right now you're going to have a lot of software as a service companies that are going to be the interface of this generative AI and AI revolution, really bringing artificial intelligence features to many businesses and consumers. Just like Dave was explaining before, just embedding these type of solutions in your day-to-day life is going to be very powerful. And those are really software as a service companies that are behind this.